Hello and welcome to 365 Days of Healing. So today I thought I'd talk to you about having courage and the strength to follow your convictions. So what does that mean? Oh, it's a difficult one, isn't it? It's having the fortitude to follow your own path. Very difficult in our world, in our Western world, and in any world for that matter, because when we choose a path that, say, is outside of what society deems is a good path, or what our families deem is a good path, it becomes difficult to make choices then that are seemingly against what society says or what our families have to say. Now, if we don't have the courage and the strength of character to forge ahead and continue on our own pathway, we actually are letting ourselves down. And a part of us starts to die. Literally, parts of us become weakened, our immune system becomes depressed, and a whole lot of things start happening to us physiologically. But this is not just about the physiological change that happens to us because we haven't had the courage or the strength to follow our own pathway. It is about our sense of self-worth. It is about our sense of not being filled with joy about life, or our happiness starts to wane, and very often then depression steps in and a whole lot of other things start to happen to us mentally. So if we have the courage to stand by our beliefs and to follow a certain pathway, it means that we are serving something in us that are driving us forward to find our own life journey. When we do that, we start to feel good about ourselves. Now, we might have opposition coming at us from all different directions, but the way through that is to use your imagination. If we use our imagination and we see ourselves and we visualize ourselves following the pathway that serves our soul self, that serves the part of us that knows that if we follow that path, we're going to have bliss. So we're in a state of joy, peace, and bliss. It actually serves us to keep following that pathway. And if we imagine us on that path, and if we visualize ourselves on that pathway, then that is the stepping stone towards doing what we want to do to follow a chosen path. Of course, fear will come into that. And when fear comes into that, it often stops us. And we become so afraid of what the consequences of our actions will be. Say we may feel that we don't fit into society anymore. We don't fit into our families anymore. We don't align with our friends anymore. But our chosen path is to keep working towards stepping into the now moment, which then takes us forward into what we perceive as our future. And when we have the courage to face our fears, then we have the ability to keep stepping forward on that chosen pathway. If we find the courage within us to face the fears, if we find the strength of character within us, we then can begin to work, not just from visualization, but we actually actualize what we envisage is at the end of that pathway. And so we have to weigh up, is our courage greater than our fear? And if the answer is no, it's not, our fears are greater than our courage, then it is also a courageous step to just stop and wait and reappraise, is this pathway really what I want? Is this pathway a belief that I am very, very attached to at a soul level? When it is coming from a soul place, you will find the courage then again, once you have just stopped, finding the courage to address your fears, finding the courage to go, no, I'm too frightened to step forward today, but I will do it at some point. And when we have the courage and the strength to then keep practicing in our subconscious, in our conscious mind, keep practicing the steps we need to take to follow the pathway that is our soul pathway, then and only then will you begin to take more and more and more steps on your chosen pathway. So today is about strength and courage and how to find the courage within to do what you really want to do. Try not to beat yourself up. If today you just can't find the courage to step forward into what you really know you want to do, but know that by keeping on visualizing it, keeping on using your imagination to understand what it is you're trying to grasp on that chosen pathway is the very thing you need to do to take the next step, so that you can then become what your soul is leading you to, which we call our life purpose. So hopefully that helps you to find the courage and the strength within to face your fears, so that you can do and be led towards doing what your soul self needs you and wants you to do. Namaste.